Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. I'd like to start this session by appreciating you so much for making this channel grow. If you wish to support us, just subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. So today, William Ruto had attended a Thanksgiving ceremony in Elgeyo Marakwet. In this tour of the Elgeyo Marakwet in a Thanksgiving ceremony, Rigathi Gachagua repeated the words that he did repeat when he had attended Kericho County. There's a time earlier this year that when Gachagua went to Kericho County and shocked Kenyans when he said that indeed Kenya was like a company. And because Kenya is like a company, the various tribes were shareholders. So those people who never voted for this Kenya Kwanza were non-shareholders, but the people who voted for the Kenya Kwanza were shareholders. And with that, Rigathi Gachagua was saying that if at all you did not vote for this regime, then you don't have a right to claim anything. You don't have a right to claim any kind of development. You don't have a right to even meet William Samoei Ruto. So those were the words of Gachagua. So to me, that was like selling fear to the politicians who are mostly the first-time politicians who don't understand how the government or how things operate. This was merely trying to sell fear to these people so that they can understand or know that if they don't work with William Ruto, then they will not benefit from the regime. And that explains why counties like Isiolo, counties like Mandera and Samburu, the leaders of those regions had to decamp to Kenya Kwanza because they were afraid of this shareholding narrative that Gachagua was trying to sell to them, which was something like a fear. So in the meeting of today, in the Elgeyo Marakwet meeting, Gachagua repeated those statements. He said that the people who did not vote for William Ruto are non-shareholders. That is a remark that Gachagua repeated. There's a time earlier this year, after making those claims, when Raila Amolo Odinga decided to attack this regime by reminding the regime that everybody has a right to development, that whether you voted or you didn't vote for that person, you are entitled to development. Because when you assume the role of a president of this Republic of Kenya, the Constitution compels you to offer development projects in all regions. It is not only where you're coming from. So what Gachagua said in that statement was pretty disturbing, because Gachagua said that you cannot develop Kenya if you don't develop Kwenu. So first develop Kwenu, achana na Kenya. That is what Rigathi Gachagua said. I would like to share with you a video that Rigathi Gachagua made those disturbing statements before we go further in this analysis, because there's something very interesting that I'd like to mention. But before you get there, just listening to this statement from Rigathi Gachagua.
Elgeyo Marakwet na bonde la Ufa. Kwa sababu rais huyu alipopata matatizo, akatoka hapa akakuja kwetu kwa mlima, akakaa huko, tukamjua, tukamuelewa, tukampenda, tukamuamini. Hamukulalamika haonekani hapa. Nataka niseme asante. Nyinyi mlijua na mlielewa, mlichanuka ameenda kuwinda na atarudi na zawadi. Mkavumilia yeye, hamukumuingilia. Mimi nataka niseme asante. Na nyinyi katika kaunti hii mumelia hapa, mtafutiwe heshima. It is true. Hii kaunti, Your Excellency, iliumizwa sana. Na makosa vile wamesema ni wewe walikuwa wanatafuta. Sasa wanaumiza hawa ati ndio wakasirike wakuache. Nao wakakuwa ni watu werevu wakakaa na wewe. Kwa hivyo mkiuliza maendeleo, it is your right. Si mnajua mimi ndio niko na register ya shares? Si mimi niko naye? I want to confirm shares yenu katika hii serikali ya William Ruto iko juu. Kwa hivyo mkipata waziri wa barabara na huyu PS wa National Treasury, you deserve it. Kwa hivyo na hao pia sasa wapange hapa mambo ya Jerusalem, si ndio? Muko tayari tumkaribishe kiongozi wetu?
Yes. So during a joint media interview, a question was posed to William Ruto to confirm whether he agrees with the statements from Gachagua about Kenya being a company and Kenya being a shareholding company, or rather shareholding country. William Ruto declined to answer those narratives and said that that question should be channeled to Gachagua. He is the person who can respond to it. Then there's a time Raila also made several attacks on this, because this was pretty disturbing. Because if you look at the way, if you look at, for instance, Rigathi Gachagua, just let us focus on Rigathi Gachagua's movement. Most of Rigathi Gachagua's movement, and if you observed, they are always in Mount Kenya only. If he goes outside Mount Kenya, then he's in Rift Valley. Like right now, he's in Elgeyo Marakwet because William Ruto decided to tour that place. If he's not in Rift Valley, Rigathi Gachagua is in Mount Kenya. The only time he leaves Mount Kenya is maybe if William Ruto has a tour in Busia, has a tour in Western, so he will accompany William Ruto. But in fact, 90% of his time he spends in Mount Kenya. So that realization is enough to tell us, or rather to convince us, that Rigathi Gachagua is indeed advocating for development projects in only regions which are purported to be Kenya Kwanza regions. Whereas this issue of taxations is being spread to all Kenyans. So all Kenyans are supposed to be taxed, but the shareholding regions are the only regions which are supposed to benefit. It is so sad that MUDAVADI did not respond. William Ruto did not respond to those claims. But you see, if you're a deputy president, then you're a deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, not a deputy president of the Kenya Kwanza regions. That is not the way the Constitution says. If William Ruto has been given that presidency, then he's supposed to be a president of the Republic of Kenya, not a president of the Rift Valley and the Mount Kenya, just like what we've seen. We've seen this habit of shareholding being rolled out in government appointments. Government appointments, the allocations have been done in terms of shareholding. I mean, what Gachagua is saying. There are people who have been given positions courtesy of the fact that they are from Rift Valley. There are people who have been given positions just because they come from Mount Kenya. But then the few positions they choose to spread in other regions, ndio ionekane kwamba they are not biased. But the truth of the matter, ladies and gentlemen, is that this regime is overly biased. And Gachagua keeps mentioning it. In that video, you've heard where he talks about jenga kwenu. He says jenga kwenu kwanza, alafu hao wengine baadaye. That would mean develop Elgeyo Marakwet, develop Rift Valley, develop Mount Kenya, leave alone Western, leave alone, these other regions. It is so sad that MUDAVADI was there when those remarks were made, and MUDAVADI has not uttered a word. Is this a replica of what MUDAVADI did when he was in Moi? With Moi? When MUDAVADI was with Moi, he was with Moi for a period of almost 15 years. But throughout that period, MUDAVADI did not develop home county. So these remarks by Gachagua, because we know very well that Vihiga County voted overwhelmingly for ODM. So if what Gachagua is saying is true and MUDAVADI agrees with, then that would mean Vihiga County will not receive projects because they voted for Azimio. Vihiga County, the governor of that area is an ODM governor. Senator, all the members of the parliaments there, majority of them, majority of MCAs are ODM MCAs. And that explains a lot, ladies and gentlemen. But you see, the mere fact that Gachagua has made it clear that only regions who voted for William Ruto should benefit, then Musalia Mudavadi's region is not factored in there. is not supposed to be in amongst those regions. So what we are waiting to see is whether Musalia Mudavadi will push for development of Vihiga County, because we know Vihiga County did not vote for Kenya Kwanza. It is just a matter of time before we find out. But as we speak, Gachagua has maintained that only the zones that voted for William RUTO should receive developments. So dear viewers, allow me to wind up there. But until you catch up again with another analysis, kindly tell us below the comment section what you think about these sentiments from Gachagua. Please stay safe and stay blessed.